All right, hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to the last Monday of the month. It is a good day. Glad to have you all here. We're going to hell dive a little bit. I'm actually kind of out of games to play on stream. It might be time to get some new batches of games. I've been waiting for, I've got my Switch 2 over there for Pragmata. But I don't know, I didn't really vibe with Pragmata. I thought I would, but for some reason it's just not hitting right. So it's time for some new games. I think I'm going to return that to Gamefly and try and get the next new game. All of our personal orders are done, it looks like. Bubbles here, KFC's here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How is it going? Looks like the squids need to be pushed back a little bit, so let's go fight the squids in the Hanzo sector. Avert Void. Charge into the Exostorm and save this planet from the Void. Okay. That sounds terrifying. Let's do it. You're not using your Switch 2, send it to me. I don't know, like everyone was talking about Pragmata being like one of the best games, so I started playing it. I don't know, something about it's just not like, it's just not clicking with me. Maybe I need to play it a little bit more. Just something about it is not clicking properly with me. So no, I can't keep a beat worth a darn. That would not be fun for anyone to watch. Maybe it's time to do some Nuzlocke again. Or, you know, actually, so I was thinking either a Nuzlocke, because it's been a while since we have done some Nuzlocking, but also, I was thinking Grimshire's had some updates, which is like the Stardew Valley, but if everyone could die, you know, so it's a very, very harsh Stardew Valley, so I was thinking about maybe we should play that again since it's had some updates, or even like maybe it's time for all the Stardew Valley clothes, because we also have what was the one that you mentioned the other day, the Mithra. It's been a long time since we played that one as well. So there's been a lot of updates and other things that have been coming to that game, so you know, there's been a lot of good updates to Stardew Valley and all of its clones, so it might be time to try some of those out a little bit. Let's see. We're not going stealth. We're going in guns blazing, so we need some armor that will reflect that recklessness. There we go. All right, off we go. Fields of Mystery, yeah, so maybe it's time to go play both of those, but a Nuzlocke does sound fun. It has been a while since we have Nuzlocke. There's a couple games coming out in the next few weeks that we will definitely be playing, but I can't remember what they are. I'm really interested to see a game that came out yesterday that it's called Dinoblade. You play as a dinosaur with a giant sword, and you run around and you fight other dinosaurs with your Dino Blade. And I'm really interested to see, because the game, all the reviews on it are pretty meh. It's basically saying the same thing, which is that the game is not very long and it's okay, but it's got a lot of memes behind it, so people love it for that reason. And I'm really curious to see, like, how far can a game be carried on vibes alone? You know, like, okay, it's got some funny memes and people like that, but is that enough? You know, like, can a game be carried on memes alone, or will it actually need to do some updates that make it, you know, good to be considered a good game? So I'm really curious to see, because it's like $20 in 3 hours, and it's really janky and it's really meh programmed, so like, that sounds like a bad game to me, and yet people absolutely love the game because there was a lot of TikToks on it and a lot of memes on it, right? And that's It's strange that we live in a world where memes can carry things like that, right? Oh, that's a swarm of something over there. Reload faster, come on. There we go. Okay. So that is one that's on my list, but I don't think I want to spend the money on it, honestly.
Engaging terminal.
What? There was no air. Oh, hello there.
Requesting air support. Requesting sentry.
Also, on the 30th, we're gonna finally get to see the War Bond, the Warhammer War Bond. So I'm excited to see how that comes to be, and to see if it is going to be as obnoxious as we thought it was going to be. So I'm excited and a little nervous about that, to see what they finally do to give us the Warhammer Bond. Like I said, I was originally okay with crossovers, and now I've moved into the realm of I don't think I want crossovers. So I'm curious to see how outlandish the new crossover is really going to be before I, cast full judgment on it. But I'm nervous. I'm nervous about it. All right, I see a lot of people joining us. So chat, help me decide. Next game we play, do we play Grimshire? Do we do a Nuzlocke challenge, or is there's something else in your mind? Chat. I'll give chat a say in this. Let's see what they have to offer us. Speaking of chat, it was so funny. So I make airsoft TikToks, and I'm by no means like a popular streamer airsoft or anything. Like, everyone knows that I'm just a small nobody. But I showed up at the airsoft field the other day to play a game at Coyote Ridge because I was really craving some games. So we went and played the game, and when I showed up, there were a couple of kids already there who immediately saw me as like, "It's Waffles, we're gonna be on TikTok," and like they were so excited because they knew that I made TikToks for airsoft, and they thought they were gonna be on the internet because of me. And that was the first time I think I've ever actually been recognized in public like that. So it was such a weird feeling. The question is, should we do Grimshire, Fields of Mystria, or a Nuzlocke? Which one of those three should we do? It's such a weird feeling to be recognized in public. For people to see you like, "Oh, I know that person. I watch his TikTok." Like I never in a million years thought I would be recognized in that way, because like I said, I'm small, I'm obscure. A lot of people don't watch my stuff, so I accepted that I am a niche acquired taste. So for it to happen was just such a weird feeling. But I can't lie, it was kind of a fun feeling. Chaotic, good morning. It was also weird that it was children who recognized me, because my core audience is almost always older like me, so it was weird to have younger kids like, "Oh, it's Waffles." I went to the State Roar yesterday. Is that a typo? Is it State Fair, or is the State Roar, is that the furry version of the State Fair? I would go to that. I've said that before. Waffles is not a furry, but I have a great respect for the amount of artistry and money that goes into everything that they do. So if the furries put on a state fair, I would go in a heartbeat, because I know that place would be tons of great art, great people. So yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat. I figured he meant fair, but it gave me a chance to ponder the idea of furry state fair, so I had to take the opportunity to talk about it. I was watching a TikTok about a furry, and they were talking about how hard it is to go to a convention because sometimes you'll spend money you don't mean to. And like I know, I think we all know that feeling, right? We've all had that feeling where like, oh, we're not going to spend any money, and then oops, I accidentally spent $100. This person was complaining because they accidentally spent $4,000 at the furry convention. And like I said, I've accidentally spent money I shouldn't have spent, but that's usually like $100 here or there. Worst case scenario, like I bought a camera that I wasn't really like, I shouldn't have bought it, but I really wanted the camera, and that was like $600. I could not imagine just casually accidentally spending $4,000.
I got the terminal.
Also, speaking of casually spending a lot of money, our sewer line, our sewer line broke this weekend. So that is $18,000 to fix our sewer line. So that hurts real bad. That's going to put a little damper on the old Italy fund. So that's what I dealt with all weekend, was our sewer backed up into our bathtub. So we called someone out to look at it, like, oh yeah, your sewage line is completely borked. Like this is you have to completely replace the whole system. It's gone. So that sucks. That's the downside to home ownership that no one tells you about, is you get surprise stuff like that. We just replaced our roof, we just repiped our entire house, and now we have to do an entire sewage line. Like, it's just been non-stop housing problems lately. It's getting to me, Stop blowing up your house. I'm not choosing this. The furries at school are, to say the least, bit too weird for me, so I'll pass on every convention the furries have in my area. That happens, a lot of, especially like the younger ones, they're still finding their place in the world and still figuring themselves out, which leads to a little bit of weirdness. But that's not exclusive to the furries. Like you've always got, like when I was a kid at school, you had the anime kids who would try and like Naruto run around, or they would play Dragon Ball Z and they would pretend to Kamehameha and things like that, right? So that's not exclusive to the furries. The cringe belongs to all the kids. And it's really interesting because we're facing a point where there's people who are saying that because the next generation is so anti-cringe and everything is getting put on the internet forever and ever, that there's a lot of kids who aren't getting to experience being themselves or cringy because they're so afraid of being taped and put on the internet that they're just unwilling to do anything. And that makes me so sad to hear. I also think it's going to lead to a lot of problems, right? You have a bunch of repressed kids who never got to be themselves, so when they turn into adults and can be themselves, they're going to go big or they're going to go home, and that's going to be tough. Find it a bit ridiculous? It depends. It depends. I understand the idea of I want to create a costume. I want to play dress up. I just want to do that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But like any fandom, like any hobby, like anything else, right? That it's very easy for people to take it to an inappropriate extreme. So I don't find that fault with the community itself. That is just human nature, unfortunately, in general, is to sometimes go absolutely ridiculous. Like car guys. I find car people absolutely ridiculous. The ones who are like, yeah, this is my rare 1993 Subaru WRX and it doesn't run, so I have to buy a new part for every weekend to try and get it to run. But I spent $6,000 on an exhaust system that makes it sound like someone with a Gatling gun, so I can drive around at 2 a.m. with the loudest sound system on the West Coast and wake everyone up. Like, I find that to be absolutely ridiculous. Like, I would take someone pretending to be a cat any day over someone with a super loud... No, our resupply. It landed on a pillar up there. That's not good. Or maybe I just hate the car people. I fully admit I very much dislike anyone who works on their car and does all those sorts of things really, really, really annoys me. So maybe there's some biasry there, but man, are car people annoying sometimes. Look at the Wasp. Wasp just downed that dude from like half a mile away. The furries in my school come in ears, paws, gloves, or whatever else, tails. I am so, I don't know if shocked is the right word for it, but I am kind of shocked at how like acceptable tails have become. Like seeing people walk around in tails has become like so normalized. I never thought we would reach that point where people were just walking around in ears and tails casually and people were just accepting of it. So that is definitely a strange one to see how much people have just become okay with the ears and the tails. Oh boy. Get him, Eagle. He's hiding under a bridge, so that's not working. There we go. Alright, I need ammo. Where did our ammo go? Here it is.
Fire in the hole.
Block that. Oh, come on. Reload faster. Faster. I can't believe we made it out of that alive. Get it. Get it. Good job. Oh, he almost got me. He got me. Oh, nope. I healed in time. I can't believe... I know I just said it, but I can't believe I'm still alive. Well, I spoke too soon. I jinxed myself on that one. Also, I will say one thing that, like, if you've got a full fursuit, I am envious. One, that you can afford that, but two, like, the ability to be anonymous in public is like, since everyone's got their cell phones out right now, or everyone's got their cell phones out, everyone's videotaping everything. Every time you make a mistake, do something wrong, you're gonna end up on YouTube or something like that. Being able to be fully anonymous in public like that sounds nice. Like, if I had the ability to be fully anonymous in public so that no one could know who I was or recognize me or anything like that, I would jump on that chance. So I'm a little jealous of the furries for their, what's the right word, animosity and anonymity when it comes to wearing a fursuit. So like, how nice would that be to make sure that like flock cameras couldn't pick you up and AI couldn't pick you up and things like that. Just like having the ability to be fully incognito on demand is very nice. So I do like that idea. Oh, there's, okay, that's trouble. Let's Gatling guns.
Calling down a sentry.
I've been picked on for far less. Like, I'm gonna be watching random things on my computer and they'll find some way to pick on me. I have heard that kids are vicious nowadays, that it doesn't matter what you're doing. This goes back to the conversation we're having about cringe, right? It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're doing anything, people are going to make fun of you for it because everyone's just so afraid of being cringe or standing out or doing anything wrong that it's just become this arms race to do nothing, to be aloof and to have nothing because you don't want other kids to make fun of you. But here's the thing, and this won't make sense until you're out of high school. And I know everyone says like, oh, just ignore him, it doesn't matter, but it truly it truly doesn't matter. Like, I got picked on a lot when I was in high school because I was a dumb, cringy kid, and it mattered so much to me. And now that I'm out of high school, I look back on, I was like, yeah, none of it mattered. Like, none of those people mattered. I don't talk to any one of them. I don't think about any of those people ever again. Like, stay in school, but also like 90% of school really doesn't matter. Like, getting the good enough grades to go to college was all that mattered. Like, I don't talk to a single person I went to high school with, unless you count Emmy, because she was technically in the class below me, but I didn't know who she was at the time. We didn't meet until after school, so like, again, I know this doesn't make sense now, but when you're older and look back on it, you'll see that basically nothing from high school ever mattered, and that's a good thing, right? Because if you find yourself being 30 years old and still finding that high school matters, that might mean that you peaked in high school, and that's the real danger, right? You don't want to be the kid who peaked in high school. Like, that is like one of the worst things that can happen to you, right? Like, when you have someone who's 30 years old and still talks about, oh, you remember that football game? You remember how we were going to make it to state? You remember how good we were? Like, dude, it was a high school football game 20 years ago. You got to let it go. Like, that is a real problem. That's the real thing you don't want to have happen. And I speak a little bit from experience here. This is one of the great shame things. When I graduated from high school, I was one of those kids who didn't know what they were doing next. I was stuck in my small town. I wasn't going to college because I couldn't afford it. So I was like, well, I don't know what to do, and all I've ever done is go to high school. So I was one of those people, yeah, I graduated high school, but I still hang out at the high school because I had friends in high school. So, I'd go hang out with the people that I knew from high school afterwards, and go back and visit the teachers like, hey, yo, you missed me? I'm out of high school. And that was, oh, I'm so ashamed of that. I'm so ashamed that I was that person. I had nothing going on, so I became the person who hangs out at the high school. That is not what you want to become. You want to avoid that at all possible costs. Don't become the person who hangs out at the high school after graduating. It's that small town effect, you come from a small town, you don't know what comes next, you don't know what you're going to do with your life, so you're like, well, this is the only thing I've ever done. So, and that is the real danger of high school, right? Is that, oh, well, it's all I've ever done, it's all I ever know, so it's all I'm going to do. Nah, you graduate, go do something new, go experience something new, go have some fun. But don't go back to the high school.
Throwing supply beacon. Calling down a sentry.
Deploying sentry.
Requesting sentry.
Go to a rich kid's school? What do you consider a rich kid's school? Like, what about it makes it a rich kid's school? Like, what separates you from the rest of us? Is it like uniforms? Is it like mandatory uniforms? Or is it like you have an expensive football program and so people come from all over to go there? Ouch. Reload faster. Turret, help me. Help me, turret. Do something. No, it's just gonna sit there and do nothing. Just gonna stand there and watch you bleed. That's Rihanna. This coyote slaps, as the kids say. No, lock on. There you go, lock onto that. Okay. Blow that guy up. Nice. Next, that guy. Very nice. Don't know where those people are going, but okay.
Calling down a sentry.
Sending down sentry.
Requesting air support. Coming in hot. Calling down a sentry.
Those rocket pods, they changed the Eagle rocket pods, and man, those things are awesome now. Like, I don't know what they changed about them, but they absolutely dominate people.
Last reload.
Extraction is available.
Reload really fast. All the other schools are falling into disrepair, while ours is a lot nicer. Our gym is massive. We had enough money and funds, so club sports teams have a golf team. That is pretty bougie. No lie. Golf team. I think we had a golf club too. So that is. Golf is one of those sports. I know this is really unpopular to say, but I think golf needs to be abolished. I think. Oh, excuse me. I think the world would be better off if we got rid of golf. Like, it's so expensive. It requires all these really nice, pristine courses that take up a bunch of land and a bunch of resources and a bunch of other things. Like, I truly think the world would be better off if we got rid of golf.
Reinforcements have been launched.
New mag.
Ugh, my lungs are all on fire. So I was out airsofting and it was full of like dust and grime. You know, it was a very, very dusty field we were on, so I can still feel it in my chest. I need one of those like saunas that are full of steam to clear out my lungs. Terrible.
Quit. How'd you like to taste some truth?
All right, why are my machine guns not doing anything? I feel like my machine guns are just sitting there doing nothing.
For prosperity.
Come on, turrets, do something. I don't think they're gonna do anything. No one's coming to save us. We gotta. It's just you and me, Coyote. We're doing this. Speaking of Coyote, I heard that the Acme versus Coyote was finally coming out. I'm kind of excited to watch that.
Out of ammo.
All right, we're out of ammo. This is very bad. Machine gun sentry. Please don't break this time. We need you. No, apparently sentries are just broken. They're just sitting there doing nothing. Wonderful.
Reloading.
Welcome back, Kayakli. Good job, turrets. You've done nothing. All right, let's. We're out of ammo. We can still do range support though, so let's do that until we can call in the next.
Extraction request confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
Requesting sentry. Say hello to democracy.
All right, this is working. We're being good support right now. That is my favorite role to play in games. I don't know what that says about my personality, but I love to be like healers. I love to be support. I love to be in the background doing the helping. You know, if a game has an option to be like a helper or a medic or like a support of any kind, I am always going to play the support. I love being support. Pop that guy out. Come on. Nope. Wasp says miss. That was miss. Okay.
Last reload.
Alright, let's get up here so we can call in some resupply so we can get some ammo, because we're out of everything and our drones are not working, so thank goodness.
Sending in an eagle.
Democracy's on its way.
Do that.
Andrew, good morning. How's it going?
30 seconds.
Welcome in. Happy Monday. What's going on today?
Requesting air support.
I think you're a new face here, yeah? Always excited to have a new face in here.
T-minus 10 seconds. Eagle 1, trying to rearm.
Let's pop that really quick. And Pelican's here. Let's scoot. Let's get out of here.
This is Pelican 1, preparing for touchdown.
Boop, and we go.
Stand by for takeoff.
Reinforcement budget depleted.
Run, T, run.
Extraction complete. Pelican 1.
There you go. Sam's here. Good morning.
You have proven beyond doubt the mettle of the Helldivers.
Happy Monday. I will be posting today. I've got when I was out airsofting, I strapped a camera to the front of my replica. So I will be posting some combat footage. Nothing's here. Good morning. Nothing. I'll post some combat footage from airsofting. Unfortunately, a lot of the footage is of the ground because the hills were so high that I was like having to crawl up the hills. So a lot of the footage is not good, but I will be trying to cut it down to just the good footage where I am taking people out. Nothing. I'm pretty sure I remember you. I think, if I remember correctly, you're from the Philippines? Yeah? Excuse me. It's a dad joke chaotically, like, hi, I'm back, or I'm back. So you say, okay, hi, back, I'm front, like, you're the back, I'm the front. It's a classic dad joke. Vintage, one might say.
The bridge is yours, Helldiver.
Allied destroyer has
Myanmar?
squadron.
Okay.
Mission coordinates locked.
Well, welcome back.
Hellpods prime.
Should we were just talking about a little bit earlier, now that we have Sam and Nothing here and a few other people, should we do a Nuzlocke next? Should we do a Nuzlocke next, or should we do a Grimshire run? Okay, so turrets aren't working, so that is a problem. Everything floats, so what can we do here to deal with all the floating things? Let's do a gas strike. Let's do a EMS mortar. Let's do our wasp again. That did pretty good. And I saw the flame turret work. Maybe we'll do the gas mortar. Let's deal that way. That's one vote for Nuzlocke.
Initiated.
My friends say I'm from China in school, waving a random tag. I don't think I'd like to be from China, but I would like to see it someday. If for nothing else, I want to see how much, like, how much of China is American propaganda and how much of it is as bad as people say, you know? Like, I'm curious. I'm curious if it's as bad as people say or if we're just being propagandized in America. So I would like to visit China someday to see. Alright, we've got a big fortress up here, so we landed in just the wrong spot.
Requesting sentry.
Take that guy down. Very nice. Just like you don't have to go to the China school? Why? What's
Reloading.
what's at the Chinese school? What's that like? My dad went there. The city is great, but all you saw was the city. Another one I feel is being propagandized in a different way is Japan. Like, you have all these Japan influencers who tell you how great Japan is, but, like, I feel like it's over-romanticized and maybe overrated a little bit. Like, I want to go to Japan as much as the next person. I love the idea of going to Japan, but I feel like it's being propagandized just a little bit, romanticized just a little bit by all the people who are talking about being like the greatest place on Earth. You know, it's got its flaws like everything else, I'm sure. All right, Gas, take that guy out. Good job. We need ammo. We need this guy to go away. Oh. He got us. He got us good. School life in China is very long, strict, intense. Students spend up to 12 hours a day at school, heavily focused on group discipline, memorization, high-stakes tests. That sounds intense, but I can't say that... I mean, think of how terrible some of our schools are in America. Like, that sounds like it might be nice to have. I don't like the idea that test decides your future. That has problems. Definitely some problems with that. I know that like a lot of European schools are that way too, in France and such, where you make your choice for your career early on, like in like what we would consider like the 5th or 6th grade. You decide what you're going to do with the rest of your life by like, oh, I'm going to go into communications, and you make that decision when you're so young. Obviously, there's problems with having to make such big decisions when you're so young. Okay, let's grab that and run. The child inside me is kicking my butt. Movements are getting so painful, he's getting bigger and stronger now. That's a good thing, though, right? That's what you want to hear. You want to feel him growing and getting stronger, even if that means uncomfortability. Come on. All right, good job, dude. Let's get out of here. Let's scoot. It's one of those things like, I know that pregnancy is very, very painful and uncomfortable and all that, but I cannot wait for Emmy to be pregnant. I cannot wait for her to go through all that, because, you know, it's a miracle, it's wonderful, it might be uncomfortable, but it's also a wonderful, beautiful thing, so I'm so excited for all of that. Hopefully it comes soon.
Reloading.
Although I'll tell y'all right now, I will never be a family blogger or a family streamer, so unfortunately for y'all, you will never see my child, because those family vloggers are definitely ruining it for everyone. And there's a lot of weirdos on the internet, like... Oh, excuse me. when someone posts like, oh, look at my cute little daughter in her bathing suit, and it's got 500,000 likes and 50,000 reposts and all that sort of thing, like, you ask why is that so popular, and then you realize why that's so popular and how gross it is, why that's so popular. So I just never want to put my kid in that position. School life is horrible. That is a good hashtag. What's going on in your school?
Requesting sentry. Calling down a sentry.
That's
It has been a long time since Waffles has been in school, but, you know, I remember high school being, it was frustrating. There were parts I didn't like, but, like,
freedom never stood.
I lived 20 miles away from town in the middle of nowhere, and I couldn't drive because, you know, I was a freshman in high school. So, like, I always looked forward to school because it meant I actually got to talk to people and see people because I was so, like, far away from everyone else that it was super nice to have, to be able to see people and have those moments. So I always looked forward to school.
Dropping a pin east, 300 meters.
I don't think...
Reloading.
Come on, look at me. Turn around. There we go. I also saw this TikTok, since we were talking about driving. This was like probably one of the worst, most offensive, like frustrating TikToks I've seen in a while. This person was giving advice on how to, like, if you don't have your driver's license, rather than telling people you don't have your driver's license, here's some ways that you can say that without being judged by people, make it look better. And her number one advice was, instead of saying, oh, I don't have my driver's license, just tell people, like, well, I care about the environment, so I take the bus or ride my bike. And that way people don't know that you don't have your license, and you look a lot better. I was like, that's such a like horrible thing to do, right? Like, oh, the advice is, rather than telling people I can't drive, is just smugly like, oh, you drive? Well, I don't, because I actually care about the environment. So, you know, I'm just better than you. Like, that's terrible advice to give to people. You're gonna look like such a jerk, and people are gonna hate you. Like, and this is why you don't take advice from internet strangers, because they have no idea what they're talking about.
Throwing grenade.
In no world is it better to say I'm better than you than it is to say that I don't have my driver's license. I literally failed 2 tests about my own language. I remember grammar tests, and I too sucked at grammar. Grammar and math were my weakest subjects, so I understand that. Oh, I'm out of healing tools. I'm out of healing. No one cares about whether they have a driver's license or not. It's such a weird thing, but there are people who make a big deal out of it for some reason.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Ready to liberate.
I can see it being a big deal in high school just because, like, it's one of those milestones, right? Everyone gets their license. You don't want to be the only kid in your class that doesn't have a driver's license. It's one of those things that seems like a big deal that's really not. But also, like, I'm fairly certain the pressure to get a driver's license is going down. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Gen Z and Gen Alpha who are just choosing not to get a license, so I don't think it's as big of a deal as it was. My language is Myanmar. It's very suffocating.
Calling down support.
I literally know nothing about that language, so I couldn't tell you nothing about it. So I will trust your expertise on it when you say that it's suffocating. All right, that's one down. Let's do it again. And number 2. There we go. Okay. We have solved the problems. I also got to go to an airsoft field on Saturday. That is a converted Cold War bunker. So it was originally a bunker for when, they thought nukes were going to be dropped. And they converted it into an airsoft field, and that was pretty darn cool. Like, the idea of reusing it is really cool. The underground is really cool, but also, like, terrifying, right? Like, I'm glad that I did not experience growing up during the Cold War. Although I kind of feel like kids these days are sort of getting the same experience of growing up during the Cold War when they see all these TikToks about potential nukes being dropped and problems with that, so maybe we are getting to experience it once again. Everything I do, from archery, hunting, fishing, no one cares. I don't care how good I am or was. My teacher and dad have told me this. I always wanted to do archery. Archery is really cool.
Have a taste of democracy.
Yeah, archery is really cool. But I understand what you're saying, right? Like, the schools don't measure for that sort of thing. They measure how well you can take a test, and that's it. And that is, I understand why, like, social media took off and how cool it is for people to be able to say, like, hey, I found niche people who are interested in things like archery and all that, and I get to show off my archery, and, like, it's changing the way we get to experience the world because we get to show off those talents, and that is definitely one of the pluses of it. But for the vast majority of people, even with how great social media has been, it is true that, archery is not going to pay most people's bills. It ends up being you still got to get a desk job. You still got to go do the regular work that no one wants to do. That's one of the things I've accepted, right? It doesn't matter how good I get at streaming, making videos, whatever it may be. At the end of the day, I think I'm going to be one of those people who just always has a desk job. So it doesn't matter how good I get at anything else. I'm just going to be here going into the office Monday through Friday and doing office work. Woo! That wasn't such a good idea. Kind of blew myself up. Oh, that was bad. We lived. I can't believe we lived through that.
Found something. My life for Super Earth.
Wait for the grenade to go off. Wait, there we go. Where I live, it really isn't. Many people do archery for hunting and fishing. It's kind of lost its coolness for how many people do it.
Apple collection.
It's so weird that, like, you talk about, like, how many people hunt and all that. There was a time, like, in the 70s and 80s, apparently it was really popular for high school kids to, like, bring their hunting rifle to school, because they would go to school and then, they would have their rifle in their car to go hunting after, or they would be out hunting early in the morning at 4, 5, 6 a.m. and then they'd go to school right afterwards. So it was normal for kids to show up at school and pick up trucks with hunting rifles in the back. And now the idea of a kid showing up to school with a hunting rifle in their car would send the SWAT team to the school. So it's amazing how that's changed in the last few years.
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
Requesting sentry. Calling down a sentry. Calling down supplies.
Deploying equipment package.
Reloading.
My dad, news guy, would do that. He even did that. My teachers have done that. Yeah, like it used to be like just a really common thing. It was just like, yeah, that's what we do because kids go hunting. And Pepper? What Pepper? What did I miss? What is Pepper? Is that the safe word? Like Pepper Ann. That's a TV show. That's a TV show intro that'll get stuck in your head. Pepper Ann, Pepper Ann. Y'all remember that one? You know what's another obscure cartoon that I remember that I don't think anyone else in the world ever remembers? Does anyone else remember watching Pelswick? About the kid in the wheelchair with the guardian angel who was like Elvis? Does anyone else in the world remember that? That TV show?
Allied destroyer leaving squadron.
Iron forcing! Calling down a support weapon!
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Requesting vehicle!
Yeah, yeah. You know what else? There's so many like random kids cartoons. Like I couldn't tell you hardly anything about like Recess. I remember so much. Like I watched so much Recess, but I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you what happened in 90% of Recess episodes. But I do remember that there was a Recess episode where Detweiler says that womps, and they literally like made it into a court case where the school was suing a fourth grader for saying womps, and so he countersued them to say that was his freedom of speech to be able to say the word womps at school, and that was like a whole thing. That was a weird episode. There was also like a As Told by Ginger. That was a good TV show for teens back in the day. But there was the only episode I remember of As Told by Ginger was the episode where they're like, this girl is ugly and unpopular, but for some reason my friends like her, so we're going to devise a plan to embarrass her. So we're going to create a sleepover, and we're going to invite her over to the sleepover, and then we're going to put her hand in warm water, and we're going to embarrass her in front of everyone, and that's going to be our master plan. And at the end of the episode, Ginger's like, "Haha, I got revenge on them because I put their bras in the freezer." And I never understood why that was like a master revenge. Like, okay, like you open up the freezer and your bras in the freezer, so you take it out. Like I don't understand how that is like master revenge. Maybe it's because I'm not a teenage girl, but like, why was that her master revenge plan? I never understood that. Oh yeah, Ginger's friends were horrible. Dodie is the worst, but like, there's actually like some really interesting like deep dives people have done into Dodie. Like when you get the glimpses at Dodie's mom, you see Dodie's mom was totally like a peaked in high school girly, and so like she was trying to live through her daughter, so her advice to her daughter was how to be like a mean girl and how to fit in high school. So like it makes sense why Dodie was such a terrible friend, because she was getting terrible advice from her mom, who was you know, peaked in high school, so it makes sense why Dodie was so terrible. The other one was a little bit better. I don't remember her name. There was also the really weird episode where Carl fell in love with the old lady who had lived in the nursing home. That was a really awkward episode. It's like this 10-year-old boy is in love with an 80-year-old lady who's missing her teeth and an eye and lives in a nursing home. That was a really weird episode. As Told by Ginger had a lot of really weird episodes. But they were good. It was a solid show. It was a very solid show. Let's see, what were some other good... The Weekenders. I feel like The Weekenders is not talked about enough. The Weekenders was a Disney Channel TV show about 4 friends living for the weekend. That was a pretty good show. I loved Rocket Power, even though Rocket Power had some really annoying. Like, Otto was super annoying, and the fact that he like never learned his lesson was so frustrating too. You know, you always want the characters to learn their lesson, but Otto made the same mistakes over and over and over again. Was just a jerk 90% of the time. But Rocket Power was pretty good. I never watched He-Man. I never super got into the He-Man. Excuse me. I was more into Thundercats. We were a Thundercats home. Thundercats, ho! Which was honestly the worst call to battle ever. You couldn't take 5 seconds and think of a better battle cry than screaming ho. Like, you couldn't think of a single better. Okay. A better cat-based TV show, though, was SWAT Kats, and SWAT Kats is coming back. And so is Biker Mice from Mars. Both SWAT Kats and Biker Mice from Mars are getting a reboot this year. I'm very, very excited for both of those. I loved Biker Mice from Mars. Apparently, my mom says I love that show, and I don't remember watching that at all. But apparently I loved it, so...
Calling down supplies.
Objective critical stratagem available.
Requesting sentry.
They use it as a battle cry, as a placeholder. They just never changed it. That makes sense to me, because again, it's such a bad
Hellbomb.
battle cry. Of course, we've talked about My Little Pony. Even though My Little Pony technically came after my time, you know, My Little Pony is a great kids TV show. Bluey, great kids TV show. Pokemon, I'm going to go ahead and say I don't think the Pokemon... I love the Pokemon anime as a kid. Don't get me wrong, I love the Pokemon anime as a kid. I don't think it's really that good of a TV show. Like, when you go back and watch Pokemon, like, it's so... Like, it doesn't follow the games at all. It makes up its own lore, its own universe, its own things. And some of the things are like... So Ash, like, never earns his badges, right? He gets his badges out of pity. So, like, it's not even, like... Ash isn't even that good of a trainer, right? So, like, why do you want to watch this Pokemon trainer who wants to be the very best, who is literally the very worst, right? Like, he gets his badge from Brock by cheating. He gets his badge from Misty from helping her out. Like, there's so many problems. And then you've got, you know, the controversial episode that literally put children in the hospital. You've got James with his giant inflatable breasts episodes. Like, I think the Pokemon anime is not nearly as good as we all remember.
Another step towards galactic liberation.
Paw Patrol, I've heard that Paw Patrol is just propaganda. Have you seen the Paw Patrol controversy going on, though, with the cement episode? Have you seen that? That's a whole problem. So apparently in one of the recent episodes of Paw Patrol, there's a boy and a girl who sit down on some cement, and they leave little butt prints in the cement, but for some reason they animated when the boy gets up from the wet cement, they left a print in the cement of his parts, like, very obviously, because his butt print is different than the girl's butt print, and that is... People are saying it's an animation error and all that. I don't believe... I fully believe that some animator drew that on purpose, and yeah. And here's the thing, like, I understand the idea for having kids TV show that says, hey, don't be afraid of police officers, because, like, it is good for kids to not run away from police. It's good for kids to know, hey, you need to call the police when there's an emergency. Because how do you explain to a kid who's like 5 that, like, yes, you call the police when there's an emergency, but you don't always call them for emergencies, because sometimes they will come out and they will make it worse, or they'll shoot random people rather than helping. Like, there's no way there's no way to have that nuanced conversation with a 5-year-old, right? I love VeggieTales. I never got to see VeggieTales, but I've heard that VeggieTales was a very fun TV show. That is one I missed out on. I never got VeggieTales. I did get, though, Inuyasha. Any person growing up from like 1998 to 2005, I guarantee watched Inuyasha on Toonami every day. Sit, boy. Sit, boy. So cringe. So cringe. We're reaching cringe levels that we did not think were possible, and yet it is. And yet it is.
Calling down a sport weapon.
But Paw Patrol's too actiony, scene changes every 3 seconds to capture interest, causes attention issues, horrible for their brains. Yeah, I've never heard anything positive said about Paw Patrol. The only positive things people say is, "Oh, well, my kid likes to watch it." Okay, that's not a positive, right? If you give a kid a pound of sugar, they like to eat that too. That doesn't make it a positive, right?
I got the terminal.
Kiddo wants to watch because he saw one episode by accident. It's like crack for the brain. I tell him he's not allowed to see it. He had audio stories of Paw Patrol. We can read the books, but not the show.
Got a sample.
That's probably a good way to handle it. That way your kid knows the characters and is involved in it, but doesn't have to watch the TV show. That is a smart way to go about it.
Engaging terminal.
Let's see. Okay, we need to move this slightly to the left. To the left, to the left.
I've got this one.
It's a positive for parents to have kids glued to screens. That is a positive for the parents,
I got the terminal.
but not for society.
Calling down a sentry.
I almost didn't recognize you without the beard. I had a shaving incident. I got out the clippers. I was just trying to trim the beard down just a little bit, and I put the wrong clippers on, and I just took a huge chunk out. I was like, okay, maybe I can save this. Maybe I can save this. And then I tried to even it out, and I was like, nope, it's lost. It's lost. We have lost the beard. So unfortunately, we are starting over on growing the beard. I did not want to lose it, but yeah, we lost it. Watch the shows from my childhood aside from Bluey. Bluey is a very good show. I find no problems with Bluey.
Calling down a sentry. Reinforcing. Requesting sentry.
Yep, that is absolutely true. Every now and then I just mess up my face, and that is fully what has happened.
T-minus 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Alright, nothing. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good day. We'll see you next time.
Calling down fortification. Reloading.
New mag.
T-minus 1 minute.
I do like to taste.
Alright. We are 50 seconds away from being out of here. Hey, leave my turret alone, dude. Leave it alone. Thank you. Ninjago was a great show. I missed Ninjago. I missed both Ninjago and Bionicles, and I'm sad that I missed out on Bionicles, because I feel like had I had Bionicles as a kid and watched the TV show, I would have been super into Bionicles. Hello, Light. Welcome in. I should have gotten more into Bionicles.
ETA T-minus 10 seconds. Clear landing zone.
Pelican 1 arriving.
I was really disappointed. So Digimon released a new virtual game, and it ended up just to be like a gambling simulator garbage game. And I'm just like, what is going on with Digimon? Like, we have cell phones that can be so much better than like the Digimon Tamagotchis, and you can like virtually raise things on your phone now. Like, there are so many great ideas that Digimon could have done, and yet they just pooped out a gotcha game, gambling simulator. Such a disappointment.
Extraction complete. Pelican 1.
Such a disappointment.
The squids will find no purchase here.
I've got too much junk around. I really need to clean my room. I've got too much junk around me. Too much stuff. So I was telling Dex when our house was threatened with wildfire, you know, I wasn't rooting for my house to burn down, but also like I understand like the idea of like losing everything and starting over and not having to deal with all the garbage I've accumulated over 20 years sounds kind of nice. Never got into Digimon or Yu-Gi-Oh! The Yu-Gi-Oh! TV show was awful. Just awful. I watched it, but like it made zero sense. Digimon was like cool Pokemon though, right? Because like, oh, it evolves into a gunslinger, or it evolves into a missile silo. It was really cool.
Freedom wins again.
Digimon was like the quintessential 90s. What if we took something kids like and made it edgy and cool? And I felt like that's exactly what Digimon tried to do, was just make everything edgy and cool.
This operation will fuel liberty.
All right, we've only got enough time for a short mission, so let's do a blitz.
Mission coordinates
We got
locked.
2 IKEA wardrobes delivered. One of the packages came broken. I'm so mad, but I'm going to build the one today.
Thrusters. Orbit.
We like IKEA here. We are a fan of IKEA. All right, we gotta destroy some stuff. We got blitz. I'm thinking it's time to clear out my wardrobe too, Bubble. I think it's about time to change my wardrobe, because like this shirt is a double XLT, and you can see how baggy it is on me because I've lost so much weight. So I do think it is time. I do think it is time to get a new shirt. Very excited for a new wardrobe. Let's grab a laser. Where's the orbital laser? Why can I not find... There it is. Okay. Alright, take it easy, Chaotic. Have a good day.
Launch initiated.
Oh, excuse me. Alright, nothing. Welcome back. We've only got a few more minutes. We're doing one quick blitz, and then it's time for me to go wash some dishes and get ready for work, so... We don't have super long left. Thrift a few pieces. Here's the problem. Why I can't do that. I was born weird, and a part of being born weird is I'm 6'4", but my legs are only 28 inches. Only about 2 feet for my legs. So I have an abnormally super long torso, which means that basically any shirt off the rack does not fit me. I have to buy super tall, extra tall shirts that are built with about 6 inches of extra torso length because my torso is super long. So I was just built weird, built wrong by the factory. So buying random shirts unfortunately does not work for me because my body is weirdly shaped.
Democracy delivered.
Calling in reinforcements.
So thrifting shirts does not work for me because
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
none of them will fit me at all, ever. And I wish it weren't so because it's easier to find pants off the rack that are a little bit longer than it is to find people who actually make tall shirts. Because half the time when a company says, "Hey, we make extra tall clothing," all they mean is that they either add 2 inches to the bottom, which isn't enough, or what they mean is that we just added a bunch of fabric to it and it's an extra large, but it's not actually taller. It's just larger, and that doesn't work either. So out of all the shirts I've ever purchased, Carhartt extra talls are the only shirt I've ever gotten that actually is taller. So basically I have to buy, I don't like buying name brand, but I will always buy name brand extra tall Carhartts because that is the only shirt that actually has enough extra length on it. I think they add 4 or 5 inches to the bottom of the shirt. It's actually tall enough for me, and that is literally the only shirt I've ever gotten that was actually tall enough for me. My torso is too long. I have awkward proportions and it sucks. I hate it here.
Allied destroyer joining squadron. Deploying Helldiver.
So I'm gonna get some new Carhartt shirts here soon. But again, we have to pay $18,000 for the house, so all frivolous spending is canceled for a little bit until we get finances figured out. So it might be a while before I actually get new shirts. Alright, Coyote is not doing what it's supposed to do here, so let's grab Grenade Pistol. Will solve all the problems. Good job, Grenade Pistol. We got one more problem to solve. Where is said problem? There's too much smoke. I can't see anything. I did not think I was going to dodge that. I dodged that missile randomly. There it is. I am a weirdo. That is 100% accurate. And I am okay with that. I still think you have skinny calves. We're just my whole body is weird, Dex. I can't control it. The whole body is borked. If I could, I would return it and get a new one, but
Reinforcements have been launched.
I can't do leg day. That's the problem. I can't work out. Like, I have a 10-pound lifting restriction. All I can do is stretch and move around. I can't do any real working out. I can't accumulate muscle mass. It's just a permanent disability, unfortunately. Nothing I can do about it. But it is what it is, right? Socks. S-O-C-K-S. It is what it is.
Last reload. Orbital inbound.
Engaging orbital laser.
All right, laser, go, go, go. Laser all the things. Nice. Mission accomplished.
May liberty guide your safe extraction.
Alright, let's go clear some more. I told Emmy what we were talking about the other day and said that if we get 50,000 subscribers, we'll have to do a road trip to Waffle House. She was not excited about the prospect of having to go to Waffle House, so she is not on board with Waffle House. Also tonight, our family is dragging us to. There is a concert tonight that they asked us to go to with them. So tonight we gotta go see in concert. I think it's Of Monsters and Men, I think is the band name. Never heard of them, but
Objective located. Southeast.
we're gonna go listen to that. I guess I don't know nothing about what I'm getting myself into. So if you know the band or know anything about them, what am I in for here? It sounds like a folk, either a folk band or like the millennial slap clap genre that was really the hey ho slap clap genre. One of those two.
Orbital barrage incoming. Stand clear.
Dex, what am I in for? What is that band about? Practice her jujitsu before going to Waffle House.
Illuminate outpost destroyed.
All right, we're gonna hit everyone with grenades. All right, run. We got 3 minutes left. We gotta scoot. We gotta get out of here. We're running. We could use healing items. Some healing, maybe. Ammo? No, nothing. They are stomp clap music. I had a feeling. I had a feeling it was going to be generic stomp clap music.
Requesting sentry.
I don't know, maybe it's because I'm an old man at heart, but there are very few bands that I would actually go to see in concert anymore. Willingly. Welcome back, Chaotic.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Like, I would go see the Thirsting in concert because they make good Catholic music. I saw Skillet in concert. I'd probably see Skillet in concert again. They were pretty fun. But that's about it. Like, again, maybe it's just because I'm old, but I don't see the appeal of concerts. Like, if I want to listen to music, I can just pull up on Spotify and listen to their whole discography. I can listen to exactly what I want to in better sound quality than if I went to the concert. So why waste the money going to the concert, you know?
Reloading.
I'm just not concert folk. All right, let's raise this up.
Engaging terminal.
Dropping a pin. Northwest. Far.
Calling down a sentry.
Throw that. Things ain't what they used to be. That is true for most things, unfortunately. That is the world we live in, where things are getting worse and worse and worse.
Package acquired.
All right, SAM site up. We've got to get this missile launcher going. We've got 1 minute and 20 seconds. We can do it.
Reinforcing.
All right. Come on, people. Let's move. Let's move. Let's move.
What?
1 minute remains. Destroyer departure imminent.
Package. I got the terminal.
All right, secure the signal. 40 seconds left. Boom. Okay, let's scoot. I've also been getting like a lot of TikToks about like music festivals and how many people like it's about EMT. This guy makes EMT content about being like a emergency medical person at music festivals and dealing with all the people who are tripping, all the people who are high on things, all the people who are dehydrated, all the people who are drunk, all the people who are whacked out of their mind. Like that doesn't sound like a fun time to me.
Extraction request confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
And then maybe this is going to be an unpopular opinion probably. Here comes Waffles with the super unpopular opinions. But if the only reason you want to go to a concert or a festival is because you can have a good time by drinking to excess and taking a bunch of illegal drugs, like, then you don't enjoy the concert, right? Like you can just do that at home. You don't need to go somewhere to get drunk and whacked out of your mind on illegal substances. Like, you don't care about the concert, you just want the feelings of doing all the drugs. And so like I maybe it's an unpopular opinion, but like just stay at home and do it there. You don't need to go out into the public to endanger yourself and others by drinking and doing illicit substances to excess. And I know that I'm a fuddy-duddy teetotaler because I don't take illicit substances, I don't drink, but it just seems unnecessary. "30 seconds. I think we got them all. I don't think anyone else is coming. I think we destroyed all the Illuminate. We did it, Patrick. We saved the city.
ETA T-minus 10 seconds. Clear landing
8,
zone.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here comes the Pelican.
Visual on the extraction zone.
Meow.
Pelican 1 landing in progress.
Pelican is stuck.
Countdown initiated. Stand by for takeoff.
All right, let's get out of here.
Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
And off we go.
Democracy prevails once more.
Also, I don't know if you can see the red mark. I got hit pretty hard with a BB right there. Someone was shooting very powerfully when I went out to the field, so I got a little bruise and red mark on my arm because I was blocking myself from getting shot because he unloaded on me. So, airsoft can hurt. It can hurt. Okay. Got that. Unlocked everything. We are losing this battle. We are trying, but we are losing. The Galactic War is not going well. All right. Last stats. We got no. Nothing really good there. Okay.
Lots of enemies.
It is time for me to get ready for work. So let's end with our prayer as always. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Thank you, Lord, for this blessed day, and thank you for all that you do for us. We continue to pray for forgiveness and that all people who need to repent and turn towards you, Lord. We pray for the ongoing war, all the people who are victims of war, all the people who are being sent into the war, all the people who are suffering because of the war. Lord, help them. We pray for those who are going without, those who don't have enough food, water, antibiotics, whatever it may be, especially the people of Cuba. Lord, help them. We pray for all the students who'll be going back to school here soon. We got back to school season starting in a month or two. Lord, help them as they're going back into classes. Help them as they might be starting their first year of college and trying to find their way and navigate adult life. And finally, as always, as a special intention, we pray for the souls in purgatory, the souls who have been forgotten, the souls who have no one left to pray for them. Lord, help them. All this we pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. All right, everyone, that is it for me today. It's time for me to go get ready for work. I will tell you how the concert goes, although I imagine you already know how it's going to go. So thank you for watching me. Thank you for hanging out with me. We'll be back again on Wednesday. We're back on Wednesday. I'm making a video tomorrow, so we'll be back Wednesday. Have a blessed day, everyone, and we will see you again on Wednesday.